All right, today we are diving into one of the most powerful and honestly heartbreaking short stories James Joyce ever wrote. It's from his collection, Dubliners, and it's called Eveline. We're going to break down the story and the absolutely agonizing choice that just defines her entire life.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever faced a choice that just completely freezes you? You're at this massive crossroads, two paths stretching out, and the decision is just so heavy you feel like you literally can't move? That exact feeling, that sense of being completely trapped, well, that's what we're getting into today.
Okay, let's meet our main character, Eveline. She's just 19 years old, living this really tough life in Dublin. But she has a ticket out, a one-way ticket to Buenos Aires with her lover, Frank. And the choice she's facing, it seems so simple on the surface, but it's also completely impossible. Does she stay in the miserable world she knows, or does she risk it all for a future she can't even begin to imagine? So, to really get why this choice is so tough, we have to look at what she's trying to run from. Let's dig into the chains that are holding her to her home.
Joyce starts with this amazing image. Eveline's just sitting there watching the evening come in. And what does she smell? The odor of dusty cretonne. Cretonne, by the way, is just this heavy, old-fashioned fabric, but the key word here is dusty. That smell, it's not just dust, it's the smell of a life that's stale, that's not going anywhere. And then Joyce hits us with that killer line. She was tired. And this isn't just I need a nap tired. This is a deep, soul-crushing exhaustion.
And right here, you can see her whole conflict laid out. On one side, you've got Dublin. It's all duty, grinding work, the constant threat of abuse. But, and this is a big but, it's what she knows. On the other side, Buenos Aires. That's love, respect, excitement, adventure, everything she's ever wanted. But it's also a total unknown. It's the choice between the devil you know and an angel you don't. A really tough spot to be in. Now, the first big chain holding her back is her father. And he's not just a grumpy dad, he's abusive. This line right here is just chilling. He threatens her and says he'll do it for her dead mother's sake. Can you imagine? He's twisting her promise to her dying mother into a weapon against her. This isn't just a tough situation, it's genuinely dangerous. And of course, her father goes right after her one hope for escape, Frank. He just dismisses him, right? I know these sailor chaps. He's trying to paint Frank as some unreliable guy who's just gonna leave her. He's planting those little seeds of doubt and fear, doing everything he can to keep her right where she is, under his thumb. But it's not all darkness. There is a bright, shining light. The promise of escape. And his name is Frank. So Frank, he is the total opposite of her father, and everything about her life in Dublin. I mean, look at how he's described. He's kind, manly, open-hearted. He actually treats her with respect, which is something she never gets. He's telling her these incredible stories about distant lands like Patagonia. He even has this sweet nickname for her. He calls her Poppins. I mean, he is her knight in shining armor, her absolute savior. And you can feel how badly she wants this. It's not just, oh, I'd like to leave. No, this is a gut-wrenching internal scream. Escape! She must escape! It's so powerful. For her, Frank isn't just a boyfriend. He's the guy who's going to literally give her a life, and maybe even love along with it. Every single drop of her hope is riding on him. And then, just as she's building up all this courage to finally leave, this memory hits her like a ton of bricks. It's a promise she made to her dying mother to keep the home together as long as she could. And this is the other chain. It might be even heavier than her father, because it's not a physical thing. It's emotional. It's guilt. It's a ghost from the past. This line. This is maybe the most terrifying line in the whole story. Because Eveline doesn't just remember the promise. She remembers what happened to her mother. A life of commonplace sacrifices that ended in final craziness. Her mother literally went mad from the misery of it all. So Eveline looks at her mother's life and sees her own future staring back at her if she stays. Suddenly, the choice isn't just Dublin versus Buenos Aires anymore. It's sanity versus madness. Okay, so this all leads to the climax. We're at the port. Eveline is standing right on the edge of her new life. The ship's whistle is blowing. This is it. The moment of truth. Frank's already through the gate, and he's calling for her. You can just hear the desperation, right? Eveline, Evie. Her future is literally calling out to her, telling her to come on. Just take that one last step. But while her future is pulling her forward, her past is yanking her back. Her mind just screams, no, no, no. It was impossible. All of that weight, the promise, the fear, the duty, it all comes crashing down on her in that 1 second. And her will to escape just shatters. It's a total internal collapse. And this is the final, absolutely haunting image Joyce leaves us with. See, she doesn't actively choose to stay in Dublin. She just fails to choose Buenos Aires. She goes completely passive. Her face is white, and the book says she shows no sign of love or farewell or recognition. She's described as being like a helpless animal, just caught in a trap, completely frozen, unable to move. And that really gets us to the core of the story, the big takeaway. There's a name for what happens to Eveline. It's a huge theme in Joyce's work, and it's called paralysis. It's this idea that people can get so tangled up in their environment, their family duties, their past, their society, that they become totally unable to take action to save themselves, even when they know they should. Eveline, she is the perfect and most tragic example of this. So the story leaves us with this really powerful question that kind of hangs in the air, you know? For Eveline, the chains were obvious, her abusive father, that promise to her mother, but it makes you think, what about us? What are the invisible chains that might be holding us back? Is it duty? Is it fear? Is it just the comfort of what's familiar? It's a heavy question, for sure. And it's what makes a story from over 100 years ago feel like it could have been written this morning.